Hello, and welcome to Change Your Thinking, Change Your Body. My guest today is Kim Seltzer. Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Yeah, she and I are actually in the same neighborhood, right? And
Now
same, we're
we're in the hood.
in the same
We're
hood.
we're meeting virtually for the first time.
Actually, for the first time, we probably could have went right
I
outside.
was going to say we're down the block.
Let me tell everybody a little bit about you so we can get right into things, yeah? So Kimberly Seltzer is a makeover and confidence expert therapist and dating coach based in Los Angeles, and that's where we are. She utilizes the unique combined use of therapy, in-field date coaching, NLP, and styling to help people with their confidence and dating life. Kimberly helps men and women update and discover their personalized image through wardrobe consultation and assistance in purchasing clothes that fit each body type and lifestyle. Ooh, I like that. She has developed her own wing gal approach with clients doing in-field work, working on body language, first impressions, styling, and communication, and how it impacts confidence and attraction. She has enjoyed opportunities on radio, TV, and on the web. Well, you're a celebrity, baby. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us today for this summit talk, because I think it has a lot of good congruence in terms of what we'll talk about today too. And I know you specialize in the inside out makeovers, and that really has an impact on people's confidence. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd love to because it's funny. Every time I hear my bio being read back to me, I kind of chuckle and laugh because although my experience has been amazing and I feel fortunate that I'm able to just reach so many people and help people. But the reason and why I'm so passionate about doing what I do is because I had my own transformation. And my story is, and I'll try to make it quick because I know we have limited time, is that I was this good girl from Chicago. I was married. I had a couple of kids, the dog, the picket fence, you name it. And I had the extra baby weight on top of it. Picked up, moved to California, did what all the other people here do, get a divorce. And then there I went. I'm just obviously there are issues here, right? But there I was, I was like, I don't know where I'm going, who I am, and I have to find this new life. And I looked in the mirror and I didn't like what I saw. I really did. And I'm sure there's a lot of people listening out there. I mean, we've all had kind of, I think, journeys with our self-image, and it could, even if it's not with our weight, there's different parts of our lives where we change and shift. And often there's a pure reflection of the outer and the inner. So that period of my life was dark. It was dismal. And guess what? My clothes were dark and dismal, and they were oversized, and I had nursing bras and Birkenstocks on, and I looked in the mirror and I'm like, and I'm supposed to go out there in the world, attract a new man, attract a new career. I needed help.
Yeah.
So, that's why I think at that moment when I decided to do what I do, I had shifted in my body and I went shopping. Quite honestly, that's where it started. I went shopping. I realized nothing fit me. And the woman in the store held up this red dress that I thought was like 2 sizes too small. And she's like, honey, try this on. And I'm like, that's really nice of you, but that's not me. And that's not my size. And she said, honey, it is you. And it is your size. So I slipped it on. I looked in the mirror and I'm like, holy, like that was me. That was me. And I hadn't seen me. And I think what happens, especially when there's a shift in your body and also mentally, is that you still see yourself as how you were, not how you are necessarily. So if there's been a body image shift or weight change, it took me a while to see the real me and the true me. And then I wore this costume, if you will, out into the real world. And I noticed that my confidence started growing. And when I looked better, I felt better, my confidence started soaring. And guess what? I created new opportunities for myself. And that's where I am. Well, the rest is what you heard today on this bio. But again, it was this kind of aha moment. And, I used to be a therapist and I practiced for many years. And so when I do work with people, and that's why I talk about the inside and the outside,
Right.
is that that stuff that happens, when people transform on the outside, but there's also so much inside happening.
Yeah.
symbiotic. It really, I can't work with one without the other. And like, I would start doing these makeovers on people and I'm like, gosh, I am touching people and shifting and changing people in one shopping spree more than years in talking therapy. Why? Because I was putting people in action so that they
Right.
can look and feel different. So that's kind of my inside out process that I use. And, you know, because I'm a therapist and a dating coach as well, I really look at what's kind of keeping people stuck. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what I love about the clothes is because it can be a vehicle for change and getting people unstuck. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we start there, but sometimes people look great and fabulous in their style, and it's more the internal makeover.
Right, right, right. I remembered a client once admitted to me that she was afraid to make the changes, even losing weight, because who would she then be? I'm so used to being this and this outward expression,
Yeah.
that gets in the way of, and it made me take a moment of pause to think to myself, wow, you wouldn't realize that that would stand in the way of anything, moving one step forward with even weight loss. And now how do I define myself?
That's really interesting you said that because I see that happen a lot with my clients. And by the way, I work with men and women. And what happens is that sometimes when you're so used to hiding and people who
Exactly.
do emotional eating, and you know this, and I'm sure a lot of people are realizing for themselves, it's a way of keeping them insulated and it's a protection thing.
Right.
And when they're sad and a way of stuffing and that kind of thing. And when you shift that and you change that and you're being seen for the first time in your entire life or after a long period of time, it's scary. And so it can be literally paralyzing for people. Even if they look good and they see themselves that way, they're not quite sure if they believe it and what to do with it. To your point, they don't even know who this person is. So that's why it's really important to kind of marinate in that. And I tell people all the time, think of it as a costume, just like in Halloween, right? Like you're wearing something and pretty soon it will become you, but it does take a little bit of a shift, in the mindset as well.
Yeah, I mean, I found that so, it was funny because to your point about the baggy clothes and, I had, clients who've lost their weight, but still wearing the baggy clothes. And I was like,
Yes.
and then one day came in with, an outfit. I was like, oh my God, that was underneath you. So, and she said she was almost, and that's why I love the whole inside out thing that you speak of, because it's not just about changing the outside. And then she was giving me one of these, like, I was afraid to dress for this body, much like what you described, that this is me.
Right.
So
Right.
that shift, there's that, I don't know, a special formula. You have a special formula that you talk to people about getting what they want?
Yeah, I have a lot of formulas. I like to talk in systems because I think it helps people.
Yeah,
People will come to me and they're like, I just need to be more confident. But like, what does that mean?
you're right.
That's such a big word.
I just need that. No worries. Let's go. What time you got? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, just lose weight. You'll be fine. Like,
Next.
how
Yeah.
do I do that? It's like, how do I gain that? And so I had a big event actually in November and it was called the Makeover Blueprint.
Yeah.
And what I taught in those 3 days is really what I teach in my practice, whether people work with me in person or over the phone. I have different programs. And it's really breaking down, ways that people look at themselves and change in 3 areas. The first is what I call style intelligence. That's what we're talking about with our wardrobe, our body language, our first impressions, knowing your colors, knowing just what style fits you. And the second area is what I call emotional intelligence. You hear people talking about this a lot, right? And it's a way that we express ourselves. I find that so many people hold back and they hold things in. And that also has, repercussions about who they attract and all of that. So expression is huge that I work with people. And then the third area is social intelligence. Then how do we manage relationships? How do we create attraction and chemistry and really meaningful connections so that we're feeling whole? And, for each person that may look different. I'm not like a cookie cutter approach girl. I really look at people's journeys and helping them move forward.
Yeah. Cause that, there's that confidence level, I think, because that's what I'm hearing in the inside out, if you will, of all of things, of what you speak of, that confidence level in anything, even, your presentation to the world, let alone if you're looking to attract someone else, right? And in terms of how do I put my best foot forward? And I found so many people are really frightened of that sometimes. Yeah, so I love that you've got that blueprint, because it's a little bit of a gentle, I like that you say you work in systems. It's a little bit of a gentler sort of approach to, and so in building a wardrobe, like if I love that your story. So for example, and you said you were used to whatever you look like, and then she took out that little red dress, the little size, but it wasn't you thought.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So was it more about your body type? Was it about the coloring? What was it about that you didn't think was you until you put it on?
Well, and this is the interesting thing, because that is the thing that's so common when clients come to me. They feel like they can't look like the mannequin, or they can't look a certain way, or that's just not them, or
Right.
because they have low confidence in maybe the way that they feel inside. I think there's so many reasons why people can't see themselves. A lot of reasons. And what I find is that there's something also that happens in the brain when people see themselves in the mirror that's different than how others see them. And one of the things that I really love to do with people to help them through this, to help them see themselves, so to speak, is to recognize and find the things they love, not the things they hate. Because especially women, we are notorious for focusing on the body parts we hate rather than we love. And once women are really able to see all that they are and the parts that they love, it's getting close that figure, but also showcasing those things that they love about themselves, because that's where the confidence lives, right? And so then, from there, it's also, believe it or not, taking pictures. I take a lot of pictures, and it's funny, like a woman will look in the mirror and she may still not see it. Like and she'll look and like, I guess, I don't know, I can kind of see what you're talking about, but I don't know if it's me or I don't. And I said, okay, hold on. And I take a picture of what she was before, and I take a picture of the after. And if anyone goes to my website, seltzerstyle.com, you'll see the transformations. And I hold them side by side, or I swipe back and forth. And then it suddenly clicks, because they're looking outside themselves, from the outside, and they're like, oh, wow, I can't believe that's me, and it's interesting, but it's different for everyone. I think the most profound case that I can share, it was a woman who, she flew in to do an intensive with me, and she did the whole shebang. She did, the makeover, the shopping, the coaching, the therapy, and the photo shoot. And she was petrified of shopping. And not only that, it was so profound because she had really poor body image, and she felt like she was overweight. Mm-hmm. And she's been swimming in these big clothes, as you described before, because it was more comfortable. She didn't want things clinging to her, which is usually the case. And more than that, she just didn't want to be seen. And she told me before flying out, she said, Kim, I'm just warning you, I can't look in the mirror. I haven't looked in the mirror in 20 years. Like I literally will avoid mirror. Wow. It was that profound. And so we went shopping, and this is what I love about my process, because it's more about show me, don't tell me. Like I could have sat there in a therapy session and talked to her about her body image till the cows came home. But instead, we walked in the department store. She started crying because she looked at the mannequin. She goes, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, this isn't me. And so I said, wait a second. I gave her a little tough love. I said, hang in there with me. I want you to put this on. And so I gave her just a jacket. It was just a leather jacket. And then I put some high heel boots on. And I kind of, fixed her pants a little so that they were a little tighter so she could see her leg. And I said, I just want you to turn around and take a peek, just for a quick second. And she turned around and she started crying again. And she said, Kim, I've never seen myself so beautiful in my entire life. Oh. And then we both started crying. Like it was just it was amazing. And I kid you not, from that moment on, her life changed in an instant. It was something that she was stuck in, the way she saw herself. And I'm happy to say I just got an email from her. She has this boyfriend who she's totally happy with. And this is a woman who hadn't dated in 20 years. So a lot of magic can happen.
Well, but that goes in line with the summit, right? Change your thinking.
Yes.
Right? Change the way you look at it. Things you look at change. Change your thinking, change your body, change your life. In that little mind shift in that. I like the swipe that you did, because I think, when we get a picture, of
Yeah.
ourselves or a group picture. I always crack up when we get a group picture. I said, don't even worry about everybody else because you're looking at you, right?
Right.
And so, right, you do. You look at yourself. You're not even looking at everybody else. And no, but what was great is that you were able to go, before after was very, very quick. I think that was also, an interrupter, if you will, right?
Yes, exactly.
Completely an interrupter too. How is it that you work with men? We always, I think men get a bum rap on, some of the stuff that they go through in terms of their body image and that presentation. What are some of the things that
men they need love too.
Yeah.
I love working with men. Well, here's the kind of funny, cute thing about men versus women when it comes to shopping. Women, we get so caught up in our body, like it usually takes hours and hours, and it's a little more intense. Men, I mean, they have issues too, but they're so simple and kind of like cavemen, very target specific. So they're kind of like, I don't know, does this look good on me? Oh, I didn't see myself that way. Okay, cool. If you like it, yeah, I'll get 10 of those. Great, bye. And then we're done in 2 hours. So it takes them a little bit quicker to get there. But the truth of the matter is, and this is the reality, is that men have just as many body image issues as women, but I think the way they express it is different. And so I think it's culturally okay. And like you and I were talking about, it's like a social norm that women have these body image issues and get talked about in the media and all that, because there's so much emphasis on women's physicality. That's part of, I think, why. But with men, it's almost like that would be a weird thing for a guy to admit, to another dude. Like,
right.
I'm not liking my body. Like, it's not something they talk about together. It's not something, unless they get help for. But I will tell you that the men that I've worked with, most of them do. Mostly they share things that they're not exactly happy with their physical appearance. They want the help and they want the support. They just don't know where to go or how to get it. But once they do, they love it and they really do feel great. One of the most profound cases was that this guy in Denver, he hired me to go and clear out his closet, but it probably didn't need that much work because he just cleared out. He lost about 30 pounds and he wanted to go shopping for new clothes. Well, he was single as well, and he just wasn't getting like the women that he was attracted to. And he was a young guy, but in his clothes and the way he was wearing it, he looked literally like 15 years older. And that's the other thing, is that clothes can really make a person
date you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, or date you or make you look older.
Right.
So the first thing I knew that we were going to have some work together was that when I landed, I said, well, how will I find you? What am I looking for? He's like, well, I'm the guy with the Hawaiian shirt and the acid wash jeans. I'm like, oh dear Lord. I'm like, I got my work cut out for me. Yeah. So, but he was exactly how he described, and there he was. And you guys can see that on my website, his before. He's very open about it, and we even videotaped the whole thing. But then when I got to his closet, I literally had to take out everything, and I left only one outfit, and that was the outfit for for shopping. And he's like, but you're leaving me naked. I said, yeah, that's the point, because you need a whole entire wardrobe. I said, let me show you something. And this is something that you were talking about in the beginning, how people wear clothes a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Part of that is that they don't see their body as is. They're still looking at themselves as the old version.
Right.
And that's what he was doing. And so I had him try on the stuff, and I had him look in the mirror, and I had like 2 fistfuls of cloth in the back of his shirt.
Oh, wow.
I want you to look at this. Do you see all this? I said, this isn't fitting you anymore. You got a new body. So then we went shopping. We got a whole new wardrobe. And literally, again, his confidence grew. He started attracting younger and more youthful women. And yeah, it was a real game changer. So men need some love too.
Absolutely. Are they making equal connection to the inside part? Is it,
I think they do, but I don't think it's at the forefront as it is with women. Like, I think we are able to express that. I don't know if men really have that understanding until they get the girl. See, they're very result oriented. So they may believe me, and they're like, well, if you like it, then I guess other women will too. So sure, I'll buy this. Like, they don't really believe it. But then when they go out and women are starting to notice them, and then they get
Oh, I got proof.
they
Yeah.
have proof,
Right.
and their confidence grows from the proof. So they're think about how men and women process. That's so them, right?
Right. The whole Venus Mars thing, right?
Yes, exactly.
Which is good, because that's all. And you need to work with that thought, with who you're working with anyway, whether it's a man or a woman, how they look at the world, right? And that's totally that too. So how could you help people feel good in their clothes at the weight that they are? A lot of people, I found, my clients postpone all of that. When I hit my goal weight, I am spending all this money, and then meanwhile feeling like crap, honestly, every day until the postponement, right? So go ahead. I'll whip that.
I love it, because this is something I hear over and over and over again from everything. And it doesn't even have to be the weight. It could be anything. I'm waiting until.
Right. Postpone.
I call it the waiting for Godot syndrome. I don't know if you know that play, but it's a one-man play where this guy is waiting for this, big entity called Godot, and he's going to change his life. Well, guess what? The whole play is like an hour long, and Godot never comes. And so the point is like, at what point do you love yourself where you're at and not wait for Godot? Because actually it's the opposite. When you focus on yourself and in the way that you are, right when you are, actually change will happen faster in that direction, because you'll really start seeing yourself because you're paying attention to it. Often people put things off and procrastinate because it's something they don't like and it's uncomfortable. And moving and pushing and probing people in that state is actually changing them. So their mindset, like your summit says, your mindset changes towards that. And so it kind of goes hand in hand. I recently worked with somebody who really, she was going to wait. She had set a date till August. She's like, I'll call you when I'm ready in August. I said, what would happen if you actually loved your body right now? I said, I get that you want to wait, and that's fine, and we can totally wait. But why, what if you really loved yourself right now?
Right.
And it just kind of hit her. And so she did it. And here's the thing, people losing weight, there's a lot of brands, there's a lot of fabrics that can move with you. So maybe you don't want to invest a lot because, you want to work towards that, and that I honor, but there's no reason to wait for Godot. Love yourself right now. I mean, here's the thing. And if you're single, or if you're looking for a new job or whatever opportunity you're trying to attract, people love people who love themselves as they are. But if you don't love you, then you're going to detract people. You're going to move people away, that energy, opportunity. It's more that kind of scarcity and fear mindset rather than the abundance mindset.
Yeah. You can't ask from someone that you're not, something from someone that you're not giving yourself, right?
That's right.
That's how I look at it. And that's, but all of that is a process. And so I appreciate the work that you're doing to that end, because I think it's a helpful, because there's a visual, right? There's a visual that goes along with, and sometimes you have to sit in it, right? You have to sit in the fact that, okay, this looks really great on me, and everybody said that. Mm-hmm. What is it that I'm feeling here, and why?
Yes.
I love that. I love if you can show up for it. That's going to answer, you're going to get your answers. That's,
Well, it's proof, and people can viscerally feel that change, rather than just sitting and talking about it. I think one of the most common challenges that I help people with is getting out of their head, because I'm all about being in your body, being in your feelings, being in the moment, because that's, again, when you can really shift and change, because your mind and in your head, you can literally stop yourself from everything. Like, you can literally be your own worst enemy. And I find that that's true for most people.
Amen. Absolutely. That's why I did the summit, because absolutely. No, seriously, I've been there, done that. I'm my own worst enemy with the thoughts that I have that are going in my head. And are they true? Or where did they come from? And why do I feel this way about myself? And, where is the paradigms and all of the beliefs? And I put this outfit on and all of that came with it,
Yeah.
which is a great thing. And that's why I like what you're saying in terms of how you need to work with the outside and the inside. I think that's I love it. I love the work that you bring in, and I love the transformations that happen from it, and the awareness, the mind shifts. I mean, we're getting, the word mind shift is, being used a lot, but I think it's important and it's being used a lot for a reason. You shift that to, if you want to feel good about yourself and about the life that you're living, right, and the place that you're living in.
Right. Yeah.
Right? I mean, I live in this apartment in California, but I'm living in here. I take me with me wherever I go. That was one of my favorite expressions with, you can go to palm trees, but you're taking you with you. Well, who are you taking with? Right? But you know what I mean? Right? Change your environment, all that. So that's kind of an awareness too. And it's here for us all. So to work on it. And that's why you and I do the work that we do in this world, right? Because we can be your accountability partner and advocate for what you need to, where you want to be, what you want so longing for. So thank you so much for what you do. Tell us, I know you have some free gifts or a free gift. Tell us about what
yes. Well, one of the things we talked about is understanding your body type and what looks good on your body. That's half the battle. I think most people hate shopping because they don't have an understanding of what type of body they have, and they put on the wrong thing, and they go in the dressing room and they hypothesize, nothing fits me, I hate my body, they leave.
Right.
What I like to teach people is that, it really doesn't have to do with your body. It has to do with the type and your bone structure. And there's certain clothes that flatter that bone structure, and there's certain clothes that do not flatter it. And so I developed for women a body type guide so that they understand how to measure themselves. And this isn't weight distribution, by the way. Women get freaked out because I come up, like I do a lot of speaking, and I come up with a tape measure. And women are like, oh my God, I'm like, don't worry, it's just your bones. And it really is measuring the width across your shoulders, your hips, and your waist, and that helps you determine what body types there are. There are 5. And then in the guide, I go over what clothes and what cuts look good on that figure, and then what clothes to stay away from. And then I have a gift for men. I hope there's some men out there listening, because
I think so.
And actually, I think that this is something like a secret Bible that a lot of men like, but they won't admit to. It's called a Man's Fashion Manifesto. And I go over their body type. Now, they only have 3 body types. It's a little simpler, but I also go into grooming and how to get a personal style.
Nice.
A lot of other things that they can learn about fashion and their image. And I will just say one thing. If you're single, did you know that 55% of your dating success can be increased just by changing their clothes? That's all I'm saying.
I'm just going to say.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's not me talking. That's research.
Oh, yeah. Oh, let me tell you. I was at a beach. My friend was here. We went down to Malibu. And this man walks onto the beach with these ripped up shorts. I mean, like the seagulls had at him. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I didn't look at anything else. I immediately was like, wow.
Distraction, yeah.
It was such a distraction and such a, I can't even describe it. I wasn't attracted to it, but not that I was looking for it, but I understood exactly what you meant there too. My other discovery I found that a long time ago, and I don't know, just nobody had told me. So my body type is, I'm that hourglass, and I got the booty. My daughter goes, "You got a J-Lo booty, man." I'm like, what does that mean? what does that mean? And so every time I put on a pair of jeans, they never fit me right. And I was that one in this dressing room, and I flung it out the door. And and that was my all the time, flung it out. And and this is going to sound so crazy. Somebody said to me, "Well, bring it to the tailor and have them fix it." And I said, "What?" I said, "Huh? What?" "Oh, yeah, that could take in the waist. So you're going to," I said, "Oh my," I was in because everybody that I was with put jeans on. They looked great on them. They left the store. They wore them the next day.
Right.
And I thought, that's not me. and I just abandoned the whole thought. It didn't even occur to me. I know that they were tailors. My mother was a whiz at sewing. Did I even think that? So it's crazy, the stuff that sits in your head and blocks you.
Yes.
That's all I want to say about that.
That is so great. That is so, and you know, the other thing, I mean, I find that people shy away from tailoring, but also it's really important to know your brand. Like there are different brands that fit different body types. And so that's one of the things to really learn, and you'll feel so much better about it.
I agree. I found a pair of jeans that I don't have to do a lot of tailoring with. That's your daughter's jeans or whatever. They fit my booty right, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, and I want to say, if you download my free guides too, I'm giving everyone discounts on my virtual makeover. It's a 1-hour session where I teach you about your body type and your brands. And
there you go. There you go. And all the information will be in the email that you've got to click on and watch this. Kim, it was such a pleasure to talk to you.
You
and
too.
I love the work that you're doing. I've been saying that to everybody, but I truly do. You know, there's that common theme that comes of this, and people are really resonating with it. And I do want to ask the audience that if there's something that resonated with you today, we want to know about it. Like, let us know that we're, doing the right things, that Kim's on the right path, or you want something more, because that's what we're here for, right? We'll go figure it out and bring it to you. That's what we do here too. So, Kim, thank you so much. And since we're so close, we're totally getting together. Have a cup of coffee or something.
Oh my God, done and done.
Done and done. All right, you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. And everybody else out there, have a great day, and we'll be back. Bye-bye.